And we are live. What up, everybody? Christy, how you doing, sis?
Hey Nino, I'm all right. How are you?
Pretty good. We got an awesome little panel here, y'all. We're gonna be doing a panel once a week with my guys here, and even I think we're gonna rock with my buddy with LFM, the brother out there in I forgot what town he's in. Brother Daniel with his crew. Anyways, without further ado, y'all, we're doing the MAGA time panel today, y'all. And right now, I got Jesse Lopez, I got brother Aram and Duke from Waco, and brother Jesse from I would say Corpitos. Real quick, Jesse, introduction, who you are, real quick, and then pass it down. Go ahead, Jesse.
Jesse Lopez here, 20-year Navy veteran, juvenile probation officer, and American flag waver.
Woo! Go ahead, Duke.
I guess I'll go next. I'm Duke Machado, Hispanic Republicans, McLennan County, and Latino Strike Force. We're in the Central Texas area.
Go ahead, brother.
And hey guys, Aaron Menendez, Waco, Texas, born and raised, proud Texan American, love it or leave it.
Woo, that's my guys, y'all. This is my people right here. Anyways, y'all, so we're gonna be doing our little panel here, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this is straight pro MAGA, pro American flag waivers. We ain't waving no Mexico flags. We're not backing down for nothing, and we'll leave it at that. Duke was at a rally earlier. We're gonna look at that in a minute, but right now I want to go into some heavy topics right now, y'all. Trump. Now, real quick, I want to ask a question to the panel. I'll start with we'll go with Duke, but have you noticed that the way that Trump has these press conferences now, my wife, she has it on TV. It's like politics is hot again, y'all. And my wife has it on Fox or whatever, even CNN sometimes to see what they're saying. But now that Trump gives us updates every day, it's like a brand new world. Jesse told me before we started the live, like, man, we're back to winning again. Like every day you wake up and you check an X. But Duke, did you notice a difference with Trump's press briefings and how much more info he gives to us? Like every day, it's amazing. Go ahead, Duke.
Well, number one, I always love the way he has the media on lock. Like, he ain't going to let them get away with nothing. And he's not going to let them bully or push them around or nothing like that. So I like how he's calm. He kind of gets his thoughts together and he says what's going down. And the media just has to like take it in. They don't like it, but he's communicating, and so is the new White House press secretary. They're doing great work getting the messaging out. The messages are, like his biz or talks with Putin, things that are going on, the work that he's doing with Rubio, getting all of his people nominated or selected to be on his cabinet. I mean, a lot has gone down in the first couple weeks, but I like how he keeps us informed. He's got Elon Musk on point. Musk is there with his kid. I mean, it's just a different era. Nobody's trying to impress anybody. They got our vote. They know what we expect, and they're trying to give us what we voted for.
And it's like my wife said. My wife said that this time he ain't playing around, y'all. He's coming in there and knocking out the executive order after executive order. Your thoughts, real quick, Jesse, on just the way how Trump is just bullheading and spearheading the whole country. Like, it's amazing. Even though it sucks, y'all, we only get 4 years of this. But go ahead, Jesse.
That's the way that he came in, man. He was ready. The last 4 years, he was getting everybody lined up and ready for all the positions that he was going to need them in. He knew that the Democrats were going to try and slow down all his nominees, so he had his deputies already slated to go into those positions. The deputies don't have to be confirmed. So he already had them lined up. He had all the legal teams lined up. He had all the people in all the different places where he knew he was going to need them, where he knew he messed up the last time and he wasn't ready for them. And that's why
Yeah.
they tied him up in courts. This time, like you said, every day's like Christmas. He's moving things so fast that the Democrats don't even know what to protest from day to day.
Hey, it's the deport dance, y'all. Let's do the deport. Hey, it's the deport. Hey, thank you, Jesse. Got me fired up, brother Aaron. Real quick, your thoughts on Jesse, and I'm gonna show something these people always talk about all the damn time. But Aaron, your thoughts on Trump, how he's doing press briefings. Go ahead, brother Aaron in Waco, Texas.
Oh, I'm loving it. Just like Jesse said, it's like every day it's Christmas, and it's great to see a leader, not scared to show his face to the press, knows what he's talking about, confident. You know, your fake news is back, baby. Sit down. Sit down. Your fake news. It's back, baby. And I'm really enjoying this new press secretary he's got. You know, I was really hoping that he was going to have McNamee back again, but this new one, I'm liking her a lot too. She's got a lot of moxie to her. I'm
bro.
really enjoying that. They're not playing any games. You know, you could see all the media from local to national. They're all freaking out, but you know they're excited he's back because now their ratings are going back up.
Hey,
But
let's
now it's
speak.
time for truth. It's time for take the country back. And you know, everybody's a gangster until a real gangster walks into the room, and that's my boy Trump.
Let's
You know, he's
go.
cool, calm, and collective, and I'm enjoying every second of it and drinking liberal tears. Hydrate myself every day. There's plenty of it to go around. MAGA, baby.
Let's go. Okay, so Christy, your thoughts real quick, and before I'm gonna interject this, I saw him today tell that woman he signed the executive order, right? I forgot which one it was, y'all, and she tried to say something. He goes, "Hey, I'm not done talking yet, woman," right? And then I'm like, "Oh, he told that witch."
That reminds me of you, Dino.
Oh
Women be
yeah,
quiet, the men are talking.
yeah. He's like this. He's like,
No,
"Hold on, I'm not done yet." Go ahead, Christy. Your
that
thoughts
is
on Trump? Go ahead.
that's hilarious. So, I mean, I think that we've always kept it real. Of course, I'm super excited. We've got win after win under our belt. Things are happening. What I do appreciate about Trump is he's being really honest with the people. These tariffs that he's putting on other countries, it might impact our prices. And he has said that it might lead to higher prices for a minute, but at least he's letting us know. At least there's none of these games finding out secretly 80 million, or I'm sorry, 80 billion went to Ukraine or what we've done for other people. So I just really am liking like how he's keeping us all informed, what's really going on and things like that. And I really like this uh people that he's put in place so far. I really do.
And real quick, man, Elon right there. You know, I know, Chrissy, do you still not like Elon? What's your thoughts on Elon? This guy, I think he's awesome with his son. You know, they make fun of the little baby, but you know what? That's how you should have a child in the White House. If Biden did it right, no, God knows how he would act with the child. There's two grown men, Elon and Trump, with the little baby in there. You know what I mean? Like they act like normal adults, like we do with children, right? You know, nothing weird. Biden, on the other hand, is something different. But real quick, Chrissy, have your thoughts changed on Elon? Because I love seeing Elon there. This dude is smart. I'll tell you what,
You know,
Elon, and Trump even said, and my wife even said it. He don't have to be there. Elon don't have to be there, y'all. He's freaking rich. How many, Jesse? $500 billion billionaire. He don't.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
doing us a favor. Trump even said this guy's a genius. What he's figuring out the waste. Trump said that Boeing tried to give him a deal, right, for $5.7 billion, and Trump said, "I'm not signing nothing for four with no four." He said, "I did with a penny less." He said 3,999,99.99 cents. Trump wasn't signing not even 4 billion, y'all. He had to have it a dollar or a cent, a penny lower than $4 billion, and it was at 1.75 or 4.5 billion, 5.7 billion deal. He cut it to 4 billion. And he's like, man, we're in a deficit. He said, if government, we're in a deficit right now. If government looked line by line at all this stuff like we should, if you run a business or your household, we wouldn't be in these issues. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, Christy, your thoughts on Elon before we go to the next subject. Go ahead. My bad, y'all.
So Elon, as far as a businessman, and that is exactly what the United States is, running the country as a business. I think he is a good choice for Trump. I personally do not like Elon, and I respect him of his wanting to cut some of this just funding and stuff that we're using for absolutely no reason. I'm glad that we're slashing all that. And I think he's a good addition to Trump. Where I have a problem with Elon is more of like my own personal moral convictions and ethical convictions and things like that. And that's a whole nother story, a whole nother day. But I really think that he's going line by line and seeing where we can cut some of this excessive spending.
It's amazing to see. Real quick, I'm gonna do let's do a quick MAGA circle, y'all. 1 minute or less. Thoughts on Elon? Go ahead, Jesse Lopez.
One of the things about Elon, man, is like it is not so much his genius, aside from his personal ethics and whatever personality traits, and everybody has some, but it's like the team that he has working for him, going through all of the different departments line by line. They're writing algorithms so that they can detect the things that are being hidden
I didn't
from
know. I
the
didn't know
whole
that. I
from
didn't know they were
everybody.
doing
But
algorithms. Wow.
there's nothing they can do to hide it from them, because these guys are they're code writers. They go in there and write code, create an algorithm to find what they're searching for. They're finding money that's going to people that don't have a to accounts that don't have a name, to accounts that don't have an address, to 150-year-old people. People have been getting checks for 20 years, and people are dead, and somebody's been cashing them. And they see a lot of, and the reason the Democrats seem to be getting a little bit upset about it, I think, my opinion is that because they're getting a lot of kickback from a lot of that money that's being thrown out the window.
Amen. Go ahead, Brother Aram. Your thoughts on Elon? Go ahead.
I think he's doing a great job. I think he's doing a great job. You know, he's kind of goofy, but you know he's really intelligent. I really enjoy it. You know, it's like a modern day Rain Man. And you know, Jesse's right. The reason why the Democrats are getting so upset is because with his intelligence and with the technology he's using, he's uncovering so much waste spending that's been going on, especially over the past 4 years. You know, and especially Jasmine Crockett, you know, she's getting really upset too. It's kind of like, you know, only reason why people get upset like that, especially when they start going after a money trail, probably because they're hiding something. So I'm loving it. I think he's doing a great job. You know, we'll see what more to come. You know, it's only the beginning.
Go ahead, Duke.
Well, I mean, obviously, I like the way that he handles the press. You know, a lot of eyes are on him. The magnifying glass is on him, and he's handling the press just like like he's giving a master class on how to do it. The way he responds, he's not really emotional. It's just all data to him. There's nothing personal about this. And that's the thing about the Democrats is, the Democrats have taken it all personal. It's not personal. It's just business, and that's why Musk and Vivek. Can't forget Vivek. He's on the front lines too. The two of them together are doing exactly what Trump needs them to do. What we need them to do is to find that fraud. It's fraud, waste, and abuse. So it's one thing to find waste, like wasteful spending, like we probably shouldn't spend that, or that's too much on that project or whatever. But the fraud, that is intentional manipulation of taxpayer dollars and paying off
Amen.
favors. They were attacking Trump with that money. They were going after conservatives and Republicans with that money. And so, all these lawyers and all these people that have been sucking on all that, it's over with. It's over with.
Amen. And think about it. That's our money. We were paying for us to attack Trump. What the hell? I
And
digress.
Nino,
Go ahead.
didn't you post something that showed where they had $8,000 worth of coffee cups
Yeah, they had like
at the Pentagon or
yeah, and
something?
they had soap dispensers, and it's funny because Elon retweeted it, and he said they weren't even good soap dispensers. Like it's like let's be honest, y'all. I think we know what's happening. They're funneling this money to some account to some no name person, and it's coming back as a kickback, y'all. I mean, this is exploitation, or what do you call it? 101. Jesse, go ahead.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. That's why they're so upset, because it's like Elon Musk is ending the gravy train. No
Yep,
more gravy train.
I
and
agree.
and that's why they're pissed off. It's like they're complaining, they're accusing him of this, accusing him of that, and it's like, but when they come down to it, there's nothing that sticks. Just like what McConnell was talking about is like when the media talks to him, it's like every single question that they ask him, he has an answer for it. That's data driven, not emotionally driven. It's driven by
Woo!
facts. And he tells them, he said, you guys can ask me every day what I'm doing. I'll show you what I'm doing every
It-
day. Every single day. If you go to doge.gov, there's a daily Doge report of every single thing that they find on a daily basis. of money that's being going to transgender storybook hour in Venezuela, and a rapper from Pakistan giving him about $5 million. It's like all from USAID, and
Mm.
it's like and USAID is getting ready to go before the Senate to get debated between the Republicans and the Democrats. And let's see how the Democrats are going to defend all this money that's going out the window to useless locations and benefits.
Okay, and real quick, I'm going to segue. I'm going to ask a question before we go to my next topic I have here. The existence and the use of X. I kid you not. Everybody listening, I don't know what y'all think, but I already know what I do. I wake up, I'm checking X. X has become the new news source for conservatives, Trumpers, MAGA hatters. You know, I really love X. I get on there, the news breaks first on X. Forget everything else, y'all. I believe that X is probably the best platform for the news. That's where we go. I get pretty good traction over there. I like X. Y'all's thoughts on X? Duke, I'll give it to you first and just pass it to Aram. But go ahead. Your thoughts on the usage of X?
Well, I mean, I love the concept of it because it's personal, it's direct, it's immediate, it's unfiltered, and also you have to stand by what you say, because you're gonna get beat down if you're talking nonsense. X and the platform is going to allow people to challenge you, and so that's what I like about it. I honestly I don't use it as much as I need to, but that's one of my things that we're going to start working on is more work on X.
Go ahead, brother Aram.
Yeah, same with Duke. I just recently, started, playing around with X the past couple of months, and yeah, it's everything y'all said is correct. I see that it is becoming the number one new for conservatives. It's not like it was a few years ago. I'm definitely like the changes that Elon has made. It's definitely more free speech for everybody, not just one particular group. I check all the medias, but I definitely am checking out X more and more, and it's definitely something I want to keep playing around with and see how I can keep expanding the message we're trying to get out there, and then also keep up with new day-to-day things locally, state, and all over the country.
Jesse, you're a X veteran. Your thoughts on X, brother? I know you love it. Go ahead.
Oh, I've seen X as a change. When before Elon had it, and then now that he's got it, is like you could say anything you want to, but just like
No,
McConnell
you
says,
can't.
it's like you better have all your ducks in a row when you're talking on X, because somebody will fact check you.
Quick.
Even X will fact check you, but they'll come out with facts that are unbiased, and it'll just be facts. It said this is actually what the real story is, and then if you have a question, you can always ask Grok. And Grok is an AI application that's connected to Twitter, and it's like they'll give you the answer and the details. If you have a question about anything, man, it's like if you want to learn how to cook Polish menudo, it gives you the damn recipe, man. It's like, I'm serious. Grok is something else. And then and you're talking about, you got everybody's voices on there. You even got uh, uh, liberal voices. You got conservative voices. You got voices that are neither nor, and they just come out and give their opinion. And then you got the journalists that are on there that immediately you're finding out about things that are happening, airplane crashes,
Yep.
2 hours before it's on the news. People, shooters, active shooters. Every single thing. I think that X is right now is the hottest news. It's like I don't even turn on my TV in the morning. I just go straight to X, see what's happened, and then I turn on the TV to see if the TV is caught up with X yet.
Yeah. Hey, I kid you not. Anybody out there listening, you want some content creation 101? X is where you get it. I get myself from X, and I'll tell you, I'll get it from X, and I post it on my platforms, and it does very well. Chrissy, your thoughts on X? Go ahead.
They already banned me. I got
What?
Yep, I got unbanned. My first one was for 24 hours. The second one was for 72 hours, and my account's gone if I get banned again. So it is not as free speech as what people say it is. But I want to keep my account because whenever they banned Trump from Twitter, he came up with that parody account, the Il Donaldo Trumpo, that was really Trump, and he started following me. And so Trump is following me like on X through his parody account, and I don't want to lose my account. So I've been a little bit more mindful. I
What
mean,
did you do?
just being me, Nino. You know me. You know me. I mean, calling it like it is. I think one of the big things is whenever you think of free speech and stuff like that, that you think you could go in there and just say whatever to whoever, and my mouth and stuff like that. I mean, I deserve. I, I know that I couldn't have got away with it on IG or Facebook, and so I tested it with X,
Yeah, I
and
ain't gonna lie.
yeah, they got me. I
Okay.
mean, it was too over the top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie with X. You can really, I've seen some crazy things. I digress. So let's go to the first thing, guys. I was on the town hall last night, and me and Christy didn't go live. We didn't talk about it because I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna just say this: we weren't happy. A lot of people reached out to me, said that it's like they muted me. I didn't get to speak much. I was in there with a bunch of people that think about 100, 200 years ago, and I'll leave it at that. But salute Mikey and Chicano too. I love the platform, but you know what? I want to also run my panels. But we're not really gonna. We'll have debates if we have to. But really, I want to have my people with the MAGA hats on that ain't gonna burn the American flag. I want to be amongst my people, like-minded individuals, giving updates to my people. Anyways, I digress. So the point is, this is something that we hear a lot of times, y'all. So I want to get y'all's take with this actual topic. Y'all gonna probably roll your eyes or make a noise, but this is what I hear these people say all the time, y'all. And I shared it from Hispanic Republicans in McLean County. That's y'all, right, brother? Is that y'all? Look at this, everybody. Stolen land. They always cry about stolen freaking land. Okay, my son, yeah, my son learned about this, and my wife did too, y'all. Mexico had a big portion of the United States at one time. We went in there, we took what we took, we did a deal, we offered them 20 million, they didn't want it, went to war, whatever happened, and we ended up paying them 15 million. They signed it, and it's our land. Now, I'm gonna say real quick, the way I look at it is very simple. It's like you have a title to a car, right, y'all? And I've sold many vehicles and bought semis, and I like the blue titles, baby. Let's go. When you sign a title over, you don't come back a year or not even the next day and say, "Hey, that's my car," but the title's in your name, and we done did the transaction. Am I right? Same thing. So my thoughts are these people are always saying this stupid line that we're on stolen land. I think when people use that, someone said it on Instagram, they're too far gone. They're too stupid at that point. If that's their argument that we're on stolen land, I don't even waste my time speaking to them. I'll pass this to Duke. Duke, your thoughts on this? Y'all posted this. Your thoughts when they tell us that we're on stolen land? Go ahead.
Well, that counter protest that we did the other day in Waco, we're counter protesting probably 200 or 300 Mexican flag waving Latinos combined with, but they were run by the local socialist movement here in Waco, PSL, a Party for Socialism and Liberation. So these PSL people were running these Latinos like they were farmhands. They gave them instructions, and these Latinos did whatever they said. But one of the things that kept screaming was that stolen lands, and then they're all stolen lands. I'm like, no, no, there are no stolen lands. You lost the war. The Treaty of Hidalgo Guadalupe. Look it up. It ends all of this debate. There is no debate. These are not stolen lands. These are lands that were fought for, people died for, and was also paid for, like you said. So, we set the record straight. You see, here's the funny thing, and I'll be quick. This is truth. So we're spreading truth.
Yup.
But our haters look at this and they say that we're spreading hate, that we're instigating against our own people. So I say the truth hurts.
Go ahead, Jesse Lopez. Your thoughts when they tell us this is? I mean, hold on. I'm gonna be honest, man. Duke, thank you for that awesome explanation. I don't want to say I want to cry, but I ain't gonna lie. It touches my heart right now. You know, to hear this man speak and to know the truth, right? That this is our land. We conquered, baby. This is America, greatest country in history. And for these people to freaking lie and push that bullshit, that's what it is. Excuse my language. That this is stolen land. Nah, people died for this freaking land on our side. I don't know no man after the flesh. I represent my country, my family, my house, and I care about today and tomorrow. Not like other people that sit there and been lost in the past, right? 100 years ago, 500 years ago. Man, it must suck to wake up in the morning every day and think about that crap. I'm thinking about paying my freaking bills. I'm thinking about providing for my kids, you know? But to hear Duke say this, the truth, you're right, Duke. They lie on us. They're the ones that are lying. Hey, if you want to hate me all you want. But don't hate me for a lie. Hate me for the truth. Hate me because I stand for the truth, not because you're sitting there lying on me, you sorry traitor to this country. I digress. Go ahead, Brother Jesse. Your thoughts on when they say we're on stolen land. Go ahead.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that it's simple to look it up. There's archives on the internet where you can find all the data about what happened and how it happened, how they sold the land, and it's like there was one Latino, the guy that was given the source of where he got his documentation from, and it's like he said, actually, the land was stolen, but it was the Mexican government that stole it from the Mexican people in order to enrich themselves. So they stole it. They also stole the land from the Mayan Indians and the Aztecs, also to enrich themselves. And right away they said, "Oh no, those were the Spaniards." No, it was whatever the Mexican people became. They came from Germany, they came from France, they came from Spain, and then they all mixed up together, and then they become Mexican people. And then that's why you have some Mexicans that are light skinned. You got some Mexicans that are dark skinned. You got some Mexicans that are medium skinned because we come from a lot of different backgrounds. But that government is the one actually that stole the land from the Mexican people and sold it to the United States. And this is a good example of what you said. You know, when you sell a car and you have the title, how come the Mexican government doesn't call it stolen land?
Wow, that's
Because they know they sold it.
Hey Jesse, you're right. You never hear Mexican the president number. Nope, they don't even say that freaking phrase. I didn't think about.
No.
My bad. Go ahead, Chrissy. Is that you?
No, so I've said this on your other lives. You know, the biggest racism I have ever seen is brown on brown, black on black. And I think I said this the last two lives that we've done. I have never in my whole entire life heard a white person walk up to another white person and say, "You're too white for me. You're too, you're too Kentuckian for me." And then like even California with like, and I don't know how to pronounce where the North Californians hate the South Californians. Kentucky doesn't do anything like that. Indiana, Illinois, you don't hear any of that. And it's just, whenever you really, these people that have been fed these false narratives and put on this mental plantation that they cannot get out of, that's passed down from generation to generation. And that's what I call it, as a mental plantation, because they feel oppressed, and so they pass the oppression down to the next generation,
Yeah.
when people like you, Nino, are saying, "No, my heritage doesn't matter who I am today. I got my CDL. I'm providing for my family. I'm, a believer of Jesus Christ and all of this." And, people really need to research like the true story of how we ended up with 55% of Mexico's territory. They ceded to the United States. And, and people just don't want to hear that. They claim stolen and all that because that's what's been passed down to them. And it's just crazy to hear to me.
My favorite white girl in the MAGA, y'all, Christy MAGA.
White Lives
Okay,
Matter.
all right, real quick, I'm gonna pass it over to Aram to give his final thoughts on the stolen land issue. But let me give a shout out to my man. Shout out Freedom. He gave Can y'all mute the mics real quick, y'all? We're getting some feedback. Freedom gave a super chat on the live yesterday. I appreciate you, Freedom, for super chatting yesterday. Showed a lot of support for me, even though I didn't get to speak that much, but I digress. Freedom says, thanks for the super chat, $9.99. Sick of hearing these illegals saying they have a right to live in the USA illegally. Get a citizenship, and respect our country and the American flag, and don't burn it. Freedom. I couldn't have said it any better. Don't be burning my freaking flag. You know what? If they keep burning my flag, y'all, I'm fixing to record myself burning the Mexico flag. See how the hell they freaking like it, you know? But to be honest, I don't want to go to their level like that. But if they keep doing that and playing with me, I'm gonna freaking do it my damn self. How would you like that to burn? For me to burn your Mexico flag? I digress. Aram, your thoughts on this? This lie and fallacy they push about us being on stolen land. Go ahead.
Well, when I hear him say that, the first thing I think is, no mames, way, no mames, no mames. Come on now, just like everybody said, the truth is, when you lose in a war, especially back then, the victor takes the spoils, which was the land. And I never heard of nothing that was stolen that was paid for. And just like Jesse said, before we bought it, after we whooped that ass, Spain took it from, Mexico took it from, the indigenous areas, back and forth. Ain't none of them paid for it. No. Not only did we take the land, we were nice enough to say, hey, here's a little something. And kind of think about Santa Anna too. He was so willing to give up the land when he first retreated after the Texas Revolution. And then when he came back from Cuba, and went back on his word against America, saying that, yeah, I'll help out. But he ended up fighting against us in the Mexican-American War. Same thing, cowards. So you lost the land. You were paid for it. You want to cry that it's stolen land now? No. You want to go your land? Go back. This is America, but most of all, where I'm at, this is Texas. I'm a proud-born Texan American. I'm not going to apologize for it for anyone. I'm not a nopal. If you want to call me a nopal, go ahead. I don't really care. You know why? Because I waved that red, white, and blue and those stars proudly.
Amen. Go ahead, Chrissy.
Aram, I got to say something to you real quick. So I hear a lot of feedback.
Mute the mics. Go ahead.
Yeah, Aram, I hear somebody had their mic muted. But anyway, I hear in every live that we've gone in, Aram, I'm telling you, you have those liberals and the illegal immigrants triggered. There is like 4 or 5 people that come into every live that we have going, where's your boy Aram at? Where's he at? I was so glad to see you were part of this panel today.
Thank you, Chrissy. Glad that, for y'all to have us on, and we'll hope to do more of these, and also have you back on our platform and Hispanic Republicans in McLennan County and Latino Strike Force. I really love when wants to start here with these more panels, with more like-minded people like us, and they don't call me the troll master for nothing. I love my trolls. I love the haters. I won't ever block you. No, I'll keep you. I round them up one by one, put them in my little pen, and all I gotta do is, and boom, they come. No, oye, ven acá, peras, pinche peras. And they come like good pinche peras. Good boy, come here. Yeah.
Hey, okay, all right, so let's get back serious. My bad. Hey, we're gonna start doing this panel more often. Y'all might have Latino LFM is in the building too. Shout them out. Tito, I tried to get hold of Tito, but he didn't respond back to me on Instagram. Try to get him on the panel. Cali MAGA. Anyways, let's get to the Chicano part real quick, y'all. I got another topic right here. They're stuck on this Chicano shit. Excuse my language. I gotta be honest. How come they stay stuck with this mindset, this raza, this allegiance to Mexico? What do y'all think it is that people, they're like just stuck in that way and they don't want to let it go? I'm not saying it's good or bad or whatever, but I'm going to be honest. I'm not down with none of that stuff. I'm just an American citizen. I love my country. I don't have no allegiance to Mexico. I think it's like a mass psychosis, or it's a psyop. I don't know how to say it, but it's like they're indoctrinated to be brainwashed into lifting a Mexico flag or a flag from a foreign nation. Really just the Mexicans, to be honest. But they have this allegiance to a country they weren't born in, or they don't even go to, and they sit here and they are basically lifting up that flag, burning ours, and thinking that's okay. What do y'all think? I'm going to start with Jesse. Why do you think people are like this, stuck in this mindset of just raza pro Mexico, pro raza crap, instead of embracing who they are, American citizens?
Well, and that's one of the biggest parts of that issue, man. Because it's like when I was in California for 20 years, And and I saw in San Diego, Long Beach, San Diego, L.A. County, uh, Compton, but especially San Diego, where you have you have a park down there. It's called Chicano Park. The whole park is covered in Aztec murals that are beautiful. They're beautiful to see. It's beautiful artwork that was done by La Raza there from the barrio. And that's what it's called, the barrio, right underneath the Coronado Bridge. And because it all started when they were trying, the city of San Diego was trying to make a junkyard, which is called a yonke, in that area. And then the Hispanic community, like excuse me, Chicano community, because in California you're a Chicano, you're not Hispanic, you're or you're a Cholo, because you got Cholos over there that call themselves Mexican, but they don't speak Spanish, and then it's like claim to be uh, 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 loyal to the Mexican flag and to the Mexican history, the Aztec history, the Mayan history. And if you see that, it's like is passed down through generations. It's the younger generations that are coming up that are getting an education. And what it was called back in the Cesar Chavez days is the Americanization of America, of the Tejano community, in the Chicano community. In California, it used to be the custom that your parents wouldn't want you to speak Spanish because they wanted you to become Americanized and blend into the community so that you would be accepted by the American community and be successful, and be part of the success in the community had to what the community had to offer. So that's how a lot of it came to be, and then a lot of the younger generation started to protest that, it's sort of in defiance, and started claiming la raza, and then downplaying the role of the United States. And it's like, but when you got Mexican people in Mexico saying, you're like, I see a lot of your cholos up there burning the United States flag and you're waving the Mexican flag. And these are people from Mexico. He said, that's my flag that you're waving over there. And you don't even respect it enough to know when it is that you're supposed to wave it. And then you're disrespecting your own flag, where you fail to appreciate the things that your own country has given you, and to appreciate the freedoms that you have and the protections that you get because you're an American citizen, but you're waving the Mexican flag. Why don't you go to Mexico and wave the Mexican flag over there and just become a Mexican citizen? And it would end your whole problem.
Totally agree. Real quick, Christy, give me the definition of what the Chicano movement is, and then I'll pass it to Duke, why he thinks that people are just stuck in this Chicanoism or whatever, RAZA, pro Mesco, whatever stuff. But read it real quick, Christy. I'm going to pass it to Brother Duke. Go ahead,
Well,
Christy.
so originally in the 1940s, it was a racist slur against low income Mexicans. But then the Black Panthers got involved, and it became the Chicano movement was a political movement that used cultural pride and nationalism to address issues of discrimination and disenfranchisement. The movement was inspired by the Black Panther League. Law enforcement, including the FBI, infiltrated and disrupted that movement. But that's where it originated, all the way back to the early 40s, which it was, it was against low income Mexicans. It was a racist slur that was used. And then the popular Chicano movement of the 1960s was backed by the Black Panther
Interesting.
franchise.
And
Mhm.
people keep talking about George Soros and a Mexican radio station. I don't know if you know about that. We'll touch on that in a minute. Thanks for everybody in the chat. Duke, your thoughts on people that are brainwashed to this, pro Raza stuff. Your thoughts on the whole Chicano situation. Go ahead, Brother Duke.
Yeah, I'll just hit it with two things. One, for starters, I think it stems from lack of success in America. I think the pain that a lot of them feel. A lot of them are American citizens. They're citizens, but they don't identify because they haven't seen the success yet. They haven't lived the dream.
Wow.
Even though they're living the dream every day, they have the potential to do more. They're number two, using it as an excuse. So America's not doing this for me, so therefore I must hate America and I must love the country that did even less for me. You know, they have it is like it's like the Stockholm syndrome where you have sympathy for your captor, you know. It's but I
Emotional
think
tie.
it stems
Yep.
from finances. I think it stems from the lack of success and and resentment. And when they see someone like myself or you know, we're working hard, we're making it, we're making a living, we're growing, we're building. You know, I'm an Air Force veteran. I know Jesse's a veteran of the Navy. And you know, they see us and they hate us because somehow we did it, and but they couldn't figure it out, whatever it was, and so they hate America for that, and they hate us especially because we're all sellouts.
Yeah, sellouts to them. I ain't no sellout. What matters to me is what my family thinks. But I appreciate that, Duke. And I appreciate your service. Thank you for serving. And you're right. I think you are right. And I said it before. I think with Chicano Tube one time. When you don't leave the hood, when you don't become successful, all you know is that. So there's more crabs in a bucket mentality when you're amongst your own people. They hate on each other, right? The white man, he don't strike fear me, or the black man either. To be honest, it was always my own people that I was getting into it with in the street. So if you think about it, I don't know if it gets deeper with the Raza and how they are even fighting amongst each other. But if you don't get out the hood, or if you don't do $1 million deal in your life, or you don't become successful, and you just stay stuck in that ghetto, that's all you know. You know? So, anyways, I digress. Aram, let it rip, brother. Your thoughts on the Raza movement and all that hogwash bull crap.
Oh, yeah. The Lakaka movement, it was a failed movement. And before it started, you know, the OGs, the old generation, like my great grandparents, you know, they didn't have that mindset. You know, they were proud to be in this country. I have all their papers. They came the right way, especially during those times during the Mexican Civil War, and to see, you know, their passports, visa, you know, their work, perm, everything, and then their naturalization papers. And then I read their memoirs, and all it talks about is hard work, you know, and raising a family, and then, you know, giving them that American dream, and then it just got passed on from generation to generation. And then you get to the 60s, to the real beginning of the La Raza movement. You know, it started in California and then also got big here in Texas. Here in Waco, we got one of the original founders here in Waco, old Aguilar. You know, he really tries to beat that drum still to this day, and he's in his early 80s. I wish he would just give up and just live the rest of his days in peace. He don't like me. He blocked me after a few times. You know, he put my name on his Facebook, everything. The Brown Berets are gonna come get you. And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, tell him I'll be waiting for him." So it was a failed movement, you know. And also, you got to remember, it was also infiltrated by the socialist movement. That's why it ended up failing. You know, there are Aguilar. He says in one of his memoirs that he prefers to be an organizer. He likes to sit back, you know, and do things from the behind the scenes. And the reason why he got that is from a man named Sal Alinsky. And Sal Alinsky, he was an organizer back then for the socialist movement, one of the big ones back then. And his goal was to organize the brown and the black communities all over. And he's got a
Wow.
book called Rules for Radicals. And one of the quotes in that book is a quote by Lucifer. I forget which one it was, but Aguilar states in his oral memoirs that, yeah, that's who, you know, he idolizes. And that's, you know, the Chicano movement kind of follows that book, you know, Rules for Radicals, and people like Sal Alinsky and other socialists. And they got exposed. I have elders here in Waco. I asked them about the movement in old Aguilar, and they said, yeah, the OG, the original generation, the older generation, they didn't support it. It was too radical for them. And as it went on, people started noticing, like, hey, you know, y'all are a little bit too socialista, comunismo over here. Like, what's going on, man? And people just started going their separate way from it. So it was a failed movement. And to me, people like him in that movement, what it became, disgrace. You know, I'm a proud American, and I wish that people would have that mindset. It goes back to like my great grandparents had, and that they lived during a time where, you know, they weren't really treated that well, but they didn't complain. They still were proud to be in this country. and they were proud to become Americans. They were proud to see their kids grow up to be Americans, and their kids and their kids, and then on to me and my siblings and cousins. And I'm so thankful for that. This is the greatest nation on earth. I don't care what anyone says. I have no allegiance to Mexico. There's a reason why my great grandparents came here, and God bless America. I don't care if anyone don't like it. You don't like here? Go back. Pinche mojados, pinche pera, desgraciadas.
Man, bro, man, that's a clip right there. We need to clip that later. All right, so real quick, yeah, mute. Can y'all mute? We got some feedback. So I'm gonna say this, brother Aaron, you really got deep with that, bro. I really want to, because I'm running everything. I want to go back and kind of listen to what you're saying, but man, this stuff is pretty deep, y'all. The stuff that these people put in these books and the socialist movement, all this, ideology they put in the schools and all this crap, y'all, they do it on purpose. They don't want us to love this country. They don't want us to be patriotic and to unite under one flag. They want us to be with separate flags, right? They want us to be fighting amongst each other. But look at us. We're not united for Mexico or for no RAZA. We're united for the United States of America, where we live at.
The only thing, Nino, that would scare the establishment to its core is for us to have unity. And I completely agree with you. Like the fight, like the infighting that I see between all of these people, it's just amazing. I guess it's because I really never was even entered. I didn't even know what Chicano was until, I started like working with you, about 5 years ago. I didn't know what, how you say RASA was or anything like that. And to see the hate that came to us from like your skin tone of people was just amazing to me. Like I had
just to
never
be
seen
patriotic,
such,
because I'm patriotic,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, or not even just patriotic, standing up for moral principles like SPM and what he did to children. They are
Yup.
so imbibed in their own culture that they look at SPM as this god, and who cares what he did to any victims? Like he's our culture. And so it was
Nope.
just so eye opening to me to like see all of that, and yeah, it's just like it really has just opened my eyes whenever I've heard like all of these lives, especially yesterday, Nino. Like I
Man.
love my I'm going to speak on it just real quick. I love Mikey and I love Christine, and I understand why they want the panel split because iron sharpens iron, but you can't have a successful panel if you don't give people equal opportunity to talk. And I saw you get muted whenever you had only said about 10 words, and I saw you get muted, and they gave that native Indian enough time to send smoke signals to his tribe wherever it is. I'm telling you, it was just like it was like they didn't want to hear that most of their population was definitely standing up for not American culture but for Mexican culture, and
Yeah.
that you were the oddball and got muted for it.
It's all good. That's why I got my own panel. I'm glad they let me go on there, because now I'm doing our panel and we're gonna have our people on here. So it's all good. But salute them. No,
Absolutely.
no issues on that side. But I
No,
saw how
not
it
at
was.
all.
But
Nope.
okay, but let's get back to this. So I made a point last night. I've been making a point on all these protests, right? You're doing it for nothing. Let me ask y'all real quick, but let's do a round of MAGA circle real quick, y'all. Within a minute, tell me, do you think these protests accomplish anything? I don't think these protests will accomplish anything. All it did was make us more pissed, show us what they're really about, and like I said, it made a lot of us angry that they're burning our flag. So Trump ain't talking about it. You hardly hear anybody talk about these protests. What do these protests accomplish? Duke, go first.
Well, I think the first thing it's accomplished is it's unifying us like we haven't been before, and it's drawing a line in the sand like there hasn't really been one drawn before. So, we know what we're up against. We know what they're going to do. So they're playing their hand, and essentially, we're responding, but we'll get ahead of them here soon.
Okay, Jesse, what are these protests? What are they accomplishing? Jesse, go ahead.
Well, I agree with what Carlos doing, saying is that is helping unite the rest of the country,
Right.
because there's more and more Latinos, Hispanics, or whatever they want to call them, that are seeing what these people are doing, even though that they're here in the United States enjoying all the things that they enjoy because they're American citizens, and they're waking up. They're waking up, and they're coming over to the common sense side, because that's all it is. It's common sense. It's common sense. If you get up in the morning and go to work and earn a living, you're going to get ahead in life. It's common sense that if you're involved in crime and that's all you do, and you're not involved in any kind of constructive work, you might end up in jail. That's common sense. So it's like their willingness to want to make themselves the victim all the time is because they're not what I think we talked about it earlier, where they haven't accomplished anything. So it's easier to blame somebody for keeping you down than to accept responsibility of why you're down.
Man, that's couldn't have said any better myself. Aaron, your thoughts? Will these protests accomplish anything, and what have they done for us?
Yeah, just like Jesse and Duke said, all it's doing is uniting us more and more, and especially brown Americans. You know, they think that just because we have the same skin color that we're the same. And I like to remind them all the time, no, 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 no. Just because we have the same skin color does not make us the same. No, no, no. You wave that flag, I wave this flag. You want to support and Viva Mexico? No, no. Estados Unidos, United States of America. That's the country I support. And all you're doing is making a fool out of yourself. You know, you wave a flag for a country you don't even want to live in. That, and on top of that, you're here illegally, and you have the audacity to disrespect our country and our flag, and you want to cry that just because your time is coming, because you're probably here illegally, you want to cry that you're about to get caught and be deported. No, it don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So all it's doing is uniting us more and more, and especially proud brown Americans. I hate to, label us with the color and everything, but I see a lot more every day, especially on TikTok. A lot more. They're not censoring us a lot. Right now I see more and more as I go through my feed. One after the other. I see someone that looks just like me, and I'm thinking, oh God, let me hear some RAZA chant. And no, they talk about what a disgrace it is and how it's not a good look, and that they're proud Americans too. So yeah, that's all it's doing is uniting us more and waking more of us up that look like you, me, Duke, and Jesse, but we're proud Americans. Like I said, just because we have the same skin color does not make us the same.
Thank you, brother. Real quick, Duke, give us an intro into this video. We're going to play this video of Duke and them taking a stand. I saw another video in Houston, I think, where they were beating a young kid, trying to harass him because he had an American flag at a Mesco protest or a anti-ICE protest. Duke, this is your clip. I shared it on Nino America. Check us out on Facebook, all the people here. What is this clip? Give us a intro before I play the clip. Go ahead, Duke.
Yeah, so this is a last-minute counter-protest against the socialists and all the Mexican flag wavers. And so not a whole lot of us were standing on the opposite corner, and we showed up with American flags and Trump flags, and there's about 8 of us or something like that standing. And all these, I mean, literally, there are hundreds across the street. And so we're standing strong, but they get ruthless. They get violent, and it just bothered them that we were standing there with our flags. I mean, and so they came by and they threw eggs at us. They threw drinks at us. They were like so many people driving by in their cars, hanging out of their sunroofs, flipping us off. I mean, it was just embarrassing. Girls came over and they had to get walked off by their PSL leader. But play the video, you'll see what it is.
Okay, here we go, y'all. This is today, correct, Duke?
Getting crazy, folks. People driving by, throwing eggs, throwing drinks at us, and all we're doing is just standing here with these U.S. flags and Trump flags, but it's too much for them to handle. It's too much for them to handle. Just a few of us here holding flags, supporting our country, supporting Trump. And across the street, I'll show you, nothing but Mexican flags. PSL backed Mexican flag waving. All right, folks, we're here counter protesting the guys across the street. Those are a socialist group with illegal immigrant supporters, and we're here standing here with the U.S. flag on our side, Trump flags on our side. Here's mine.
Trash. Real quick. Damn, they must got money. Who's funding this stuff? Because damn, eggs are expensive, huh, Christy?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That's what
God damn, they were throwing
just said.
eggs.
And that's what I just said. They got more money than me because we just looked at eggs, $8.18 for 18 eggs in Florida. Yeah, and the thing is, the only part that I want to add to this, and it was kind of when y'all were talking about the protests and stuff just a few minutes ago, is it reminds me so much with some of the violence that you've seen of what we saw with the BLM movement of people getting shanked and the cop cars getting stolen and people just like mob gang mentality, on like one person. And I just, like I said, I've never seen a whole bunch of white people get together and do this kind of stuff.
No,
And they want to claim we're claiming that we're all the racists and all that. We're the ones that are the worst.
Sis, imagine if it was white people, they would have a field day. BAPD says what city? Is this Waco, Duke? Okay, so this Waco, real quick, MAGA Circle Mini, real quick, y'all. How do you feel when y'all see them out there protesting against the Patriots, throwing eggs at them, and why are they so violent? Go ahead first, Jesse.
Well, the funny part is we had a protest down here in Corpus Christi, and it was the flyer said Mexican against ICE, against the deportations and everything, but it was being sponsored by the Democratic Party. So once I saw that part, it's like, no, we're not going. It's like, we're not going to go do a counter protest. These guys are just a bunch of idiots out there in the street. It's like with people that are that don't get the picture. You lost. You lost. It doesn't matter how much you cry. Nothing you do in the street, no matter how many flags you burn in the street, is not going to stop the Trump administration and Homan from going out there and continuing on with deportations. Tonight, the mayor of New York City has authorized the use of Rikers Islands to imprison illegal aliens that are caught by ICE and the Border Patrol and lock them up in Rikers Island in New York City, even though that they're a sanctuary city. But the mayor of New York is saying, no, I ain't having it. Lock them up.
Wow. Hey, Aram, your thoughts on that? Great point. I forgot about that. I posted on my Facebook page. Hey, shout out Mayor Adams. He ain't playing around. Aram, your thoughts when you see this stuff and why are they so violent? You know that you get trolled like I do. Go ahead.
I mean, honestly, it don't surprise me, but I don't like it. I know we live in a free country where you can protest and you can wave another flag. And unfortunately, if you want to, you can desecrate, stomp, and burn an American flag. How great of a country, we live in where you could do that. In Mexico, you can't do that. If they wanted to cry about their government, they'd get locked up immediately if they got caught, desecrating the Mexican flag. And so for them to be over here, especially, the ones that are here illegally, there's this thing in, street culture. If somebody gets in trouble and goes on the run, they have a warrant out for their arrest, so they're suspected of a crime. It's just a matter of, if the SWAT team's going to come out looking for them, or if that one day, boom, they get pulled over for speeding, and they run their name. They like to say it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when you're going to get caught. And that's the same thing that goes for illegals. You knew coming in here illegally, it was a crime, and you knew that one day there's a possibility there'd be maybe a mass deportation, You might get picked up, or that one time you're driving, you run a stop sign or speeding, and what are they going to do? Just like every other American citizen that they pull over for anything, they're going to ask for your ID. That's how. And even if you don't have an ID, guess what? When you get taken in to jail, they're going to take your fingerprints. They're going to see who you are. They're going to see that you're not a citizen. So guess what? I'm a citizen, and if I break the law, I get punished for it. Why should you not get punished for it? You're here illegally. You knew what you were doing. Like I said, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Okay, thank you, Aram. I'm gonna pass to Duke for the final thoughts on this question. Did Duke leave out? Anyways, I'll get to it in a minute, but I just want to say this: they're lucky they're not in Venezuela, because I seen a documentary on Venezuela. Venezuela don't play this crap. They go door to door. They search your house. They want to see the title to your house. If you're a gang member, you're going to that prison. And they got a very fine looking prison in Venezuela. And me and my wife saw that video yesterday. So was Duke available, or did he have to step out real quick?
Well, let me see real quick.
It's fine. Okay. So
I was just going to say
Yeah,
that.
his phone died.
Okay.
Mine's about to die too.
All right. You want to and say peace then?
Yeah. Hey, Nino, thanks for having us on. Christy, thanks for having us on too. We really enjoy, y'all having us on there, and we want to have y'all on more. And Jesse, man, love you. Got nothing but respect for you, man.
Hey, tell Jesse.
Hopefully, we can do this again sometime. All right.
Tell Duke I said thank y'all. Thank y'all, the Waco Patriots. Y'all, let's go.
Absolutely. Let's
God bless,
go.
brother.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. All right. God bless.
Later.
Good night, Aaron. Good night.
Okay, so, my bad. I'm saying Venezuela like a dumbass. Thank you, Tony. It's El Salvador. My bad. It's the El Salvador president. I'm so stupid. Hey, thank you, Tony. But we watched that last night. Jesse, I don't know if you've seen it. They're not playing.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You know what? I'm probably going to pull it up in a minute. But we'll go ahead and chime in real quick on, let's see. I got some good topics over here. Let's see where we continue at.
Well, while you're looking
ahead,
for that, Nino, what I was going to say is, go over and even say a bad word about the government and how it's ran in places in the Middle East or things like that. They do public taking your head off. Like, I mean, you're not going to get away with that in any other country, and it doesn't make sense. I mean, I understand that it's a constitutional right for people to burn our flag, step on it, all of that. It's a freedom of speech according to the Constitution. I disagree with it. I would never do it. But, lots of men and women have died for our Constitution. So, but I just don't understand the mindset. I don't understand why they're here if they hate it so much.
Yeah, it's crazy. Jesse, these guys want to pick your bananas and cherries. Jesse, would you let them?
My bananas and my cherries?
They want to pick your fruit, Jesse. I mean, look, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why people think that it's a bad thing to get these bad hombres out of our country. I just deported somebody out of the chat right now. Talk that ish, deporting you out too. But Jesse, this is some human smugglers out there somewhere. I don't even care, to be honest, but thank God they got a hold of them. They've been raiding places in Midland. I heard they're raiding places today. I'll stay out of it because, I'm going to let them do their job, and it is what it is. But Jesse, they are grounding up some very bad suspects. Your thoughts on what's happening with these deportations? Is Trump doing a good job? Should the numbers get bumped up? Your thoughts? Go ahead, Jesse Lopez.
Trump's doing a fantastic job, man. He's got a 70% approval rating in the country by the American people that think that he's doing what he promised that he was going to do for the United States. And all these people that are getting rounded up, they're getting rounded up because their warrants already written for their arrest.
Yep.
These people have already been convicted in court. That's why they have the warrants. Except the courts, when Biden was in office, they got released. But they still had the warrants out for their arrest. These guys have already been convicted. Some of them are already down in Guantanamo Bay in Cuba. And President of El Salvador, he offered President Trump, he said, if you want, you can send whoever you want to down to my prison. I'll put them in here. If you want to send American citizens that are in prison, that are too dangerous and you don't want to have them in your prison, we can make an arrangement to put them in our prison too.
I'm telling you, Jesse.
So everything's working. Everything's falling down. It's like It's going by the numbers. You got the Attorney General Pam Bondi, who filed suit against the state of Illinois, and now she filed suit against the state of New York, against the governor and against the Attorney General. And it's like,
Yep.
they might think it's no big deal, but they're going to be in court for the rest of the year.
And Jesse, what does that mean? Because I'm pulling that. I posted that right now. What does that mean? Explain that.
Which one? For the Attorney General
Yes.
sued the state?
Yes.
Well, the Attorney General sued the state of New York because they have this law that makes it against it makes it against the law for the police to ask for your ID so that they can cross verify your identification to see if you have any to see if you're illegal. So they have that law, which is that law that they passed it's illegal anyway. So the Attorney General went ahead and sued the governor of New York, and she sued the Attorney General of New York, and they think that they're going to beat the Supreme Court out of that. They got something coming because they're in violation of the Constitution. They can't create a law
And
out of thin air.
yep, and so much is going on, like behind the scenes. Like if you really look at what Elon's doing. So Elon just posted on X a little bit ago, and we've talked about all of this before about how money is being like laundered back into people's pockets. So let's talk about Mitch McConnell, who was originally from Kentucky. I can tell you the Mitch McConnell that is in Washington is nothing like the Mitch McConnell that we had in Kentucky. He literally helped my sister with something that was going on within our family, wrote her back with after her first letter, and we thought was such an amazing guy. His salary is $200,000 a year. He's worth $95 million now. Chuck Schumer, annual salary, $210,000. He's worth $75 million. Elizabeth Warren, annual salary, $285,000. She's worth $67 million. Elon has this thing up like my math ain't mathin'. And
Yep.
yeah, we're starting to, it's all going to be just, I said this last time, Nino, that I think Trump came in this time and I think he had a lot of things that he had kept like suppressed from all of us during his first four. And I think he's letting it all
Yep,
rip
that's what my wife
this
said.
go around.
That's what my wife said.
Yep.
Shout out Lone Star Vet. I think he said he's Navy. Brother Jesse right here is Navy too, 20-year Navy vet. Shout out Lone Star Vet. Shout out all the veterans in the chat. You know, we salute you. We thank you for what you did for this country. And they better never burn no American flag in front of my face. That's all I got to say because we're going to have problems. Anyways, Mitch McConnell, they say they willed him in there, y'all, to vote against RFK. And you know what this was crazy? I should go to Right Wing Angels page. He has a lot more breakdowns on the number. Christian, give me some more numbers in a minute. But these politicians, y'all, their salaries is a certain amount, but they're worth way more money. Now, Jesse, how does somebody make a certain amount of money at a job and then they end up being worth 10 times what they get paid? How does that work, brother Jesse?
Usually through kickbacks and corruption. Look at that guy from the Puerto Rican senator from I think it was from New York. He got sent to prison for 11 years. The one they found in the gold bars in his closet with a whole bunch of wads of cash and then where somebody gave his wife a brand new MXL Mercedes as a gift, and then he's making deals with other countries. So he's getting paid for all of that, and that's how they fatten up their bank accounts. They're like, you don't think that it's like it's not because they're writing books, it's because they're getting kickbacks from the corruption, from some of that U.S. aid money, from some of these hammers in the Air Force. They cost $5,000 for a hammer. It's like, where's all the rest of the money going? So they're
Especially
getting
with the
kickbacks,
insider.
man. And then the thing, and let me tell you something about the burning of the flag, the U.S. flag. Before the end of the year, there's going to be a law against burning the U.S. flag.
Woo!
Mark my words.
Yeah, I hope so. Go ahead, Christy.
So what I was going to say is, and with all the insider trading, that how the government plays, like our senators and congressmen and all of that, they play, with the stock market, and they get tips of when things are going to go, when to sell, all that. So you tell me how Nancy Pelosi is worth $252 million.
Wow.
Doesn't make sense.
You know what's
Look
crazy
what
about
bro.
her? They actually have a stock app where you can basically buy stock that she buys. She's gotten
Yeah.
so good at
Oh
her
yeah,
that she gotten so
yeah.
good at her stock market predictions for some weird reason that people have made an app to where you could pay a certain amount and you can buy the exact stock she buys. They monitor her buying, routine, and they mimic it because she is very spot on with the stock market. Go ahead, Jesse.
Well, yeah, but it's not because she's spot on. It's because she, like Christy says, because she has inside information
She
on
mastered
that,
it.
on what that stock is going to do. For example, there's some instances where she knew that there was a bill going to pass that was going to restrict a certain corporation,
Wow.
and it was going to bring their stock down. So she told her
She
husband to
sold.
go sell it.
Yep. Yep.
So
It's
he
just,
sold it,
and
and then he made money by selling it because the next day the stock wasn't worth anything. And then it's like that's insider trading, and that's one of the things that they're trying to pass, to prohibit senators and congressmen from being able to trade in the stock market because they're able to manipulate too much of those things that are going on in the stock market because of the bills that are passed in the Congress and the Senate.
Go
yeah,
ahead, Chrissy.
yeah. I mean, no, I was going to say absolutely. And if nobody and all of our supporters are pretty smart, but for anybody listening that really doesn't like get into politics a lot and all of that, just look up BlackRock and Vanguard, and that tells you everything you need to know about the push for NWO. They are the most corrupt. They're in all the pharmaceuticals, they're in all the entertainment. They own
Oh, it's crazy.
they own everything. I mean, their net worth. I'm going to look it up real quick, Nino, but it is just ridiculous what BlackRock and Vanguard are worth. And whenever my mom and pop company sold out to a corporate California company, the only stock options we were allowed to invest and risk money in was BlackRock and Vanguard. No other options.
Interesting.
Guess who's trying? What company's trying to buy all the properties in California that burned down in Palisades? BlackRock.
Wow.
So as of February 13th, 2025, BlackRock had a net worth of $151.67 billion. Vanguard has $10.4 trillion in assets under management.
Olivia says that they are in everything at the grocery store and they are buying up all the single family homes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
they are.
know. I always thought about it, right? I heard this theory a long time ago that these politicians are in bed with, China and all these different, foreign entities and powers that we don't know about. And that's why they go ahead and they ruin these states, you know, in cities because they're somehow doing that in order to bring the property value down, and then and you know what I'm saying,
Or
like they basically they help that. I'm sorry, someone's coming in right now. Tito's in the back room, but I'm just saying they like demolish America, the value of their cities and states, in order to help sell that to someone else, or it's all a plan. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Tito's coming in. Go ahead, Christy.
okay, so what I was going to say is, so that Florida signed the bill that the government is not allowed to manipulate the weather for Florida. I mean, we have been hit with 3 hurricanes in 2.5 years. But what I want to talk about real quick is North Carolina and Tennessee. whenever I tell you the mass devastation that I saw, I cannot even begin to tell you how these people were forgotten, how they have been left to die out in these winter storms and everything. And all people have to do is it is the most minute research possible
Right.
on why they would want Tennessee and North Carolina. It's for lithium.
Are you
They
serious?
want,
What the hell, Jesse? You hear?
yes,
All right, I'm sorry, sister, to cut you off. I gotta introduce Tito. Tito's in the building, man. Cali MAGA.
Tito,
Tito.
my brother.
What up? What up? What
Woo,
up? How
woo.
you guys doing?
Hey, thanks for jumping
Listening.
on,
Hi,
Tito. I
Tito.
text you on IG, bro, but I guess you read it late. But welcome to the panel. Like to have you on the next one. Your thoughts right there, Tito. You're in California. Do you think there's any validity to Christie saying that they want to get rid of certain people in certain areas in order to harvest, minerals and the land, basically? Go ahead, Tito.
Yeah. I mean, we've been talking about this for a
Yeah.
while now, and for a long time, it's been called a conspiracy theory, right?
Right.
Like we've seen with everything else, all conspiracy theory nowadays is becoming true, right? But what's going down is really it's all about smart cities and things like that, right? Building low income housings and things like that. Because when you build them, you get rid of homes, you can build multi units, and then those developers will get money from government, right, to build a certain percentage of be low income housing. So while you maintain having low income housing, those developers are getting paid by government, right? So let's just say, and give you an idea, they might be charging like $2,000 or $2,500 for those apartments, right? Well, that low income person is only going to pay maybe like $500, but that the developer is still going to get the full amount of money, the rest from the government, right? So it's been done on purpose. It's coming to reality now, right? It's not a
Socialism. Yep,
conspiracy theory.
socialism.
People continue to push it that way when it's not, and it's like, dude, just do your own research. It's common sense. It becomes common sense at one point, and that's where we're at.
Hey, Tito,
Yes.
you're in California, right? So what do you see out there? People get mad about gentrification and all that, but what are your thoughts on California? What do you see out there in your area?
Like where? Like, what do you mean? Like in the Bay or where? What?
Well,
What?
do you see them, building up nicer neighborhoods? The gentrification issue, like, what do you see out there?
No, no. I mean, let's be real. I'm not saying all people that live in low income housing are bad people, but eventually it will lead up to messing up a neighborhood, right? I mean,
Yep.
I lived in the projects myself before, and I'm not saying all people that live in the projects are bad, but when you put people that don't have no energy to do something good for their lives, not bearing their families or any of that, and it gets to where they just want to live off the government. It becomes to they want to be comfortable, and
I mean, you're right. You're
Oh,
right,
he's
Tito.
cutting out. Is he cutting out?
video that's
Go
gone
ahead.
viral recently, right?
What? Go ahead. Go ahead, Tito.
While I pay a $500 rent, so it's all what the Democratic Party does, and it's been doing it for a long time. But somehow we think that they're doing something good for us, but nah, it's never good for us. It's to maintain us in a little hole, and at the same time, don't forget to vote for me. And at the end of the day, it's just hurting us. It's a
Yeah,
reality.
that's the reason they're doing what they're doing to the coastal communities. That's what they're going to want for the New Yorks, the Detroits of the world, things like that. But then places like Tennessee, Carolina, Kentucky that have all these natural resources they want, there has never been anything like the flooding that happened in North Carolina.
Man.
Literally. So I've been in Tennessee for a little while now just because of me having some medical appointments in Tennessee and all of that. Where this damage happened was exactly 14 miles from my house. It wiped out 12 miles of road. There is still 12 feet of mud under a bridge
Wow.
that they have not even cleared out yet, and they expect to find between 500 to 600 bodies in that area. Wiped homes completely away, Nino, and they want it for the lithium. They want it for the electric vehicles.
And Christy, and they're giving all this money, right, to these foreign entities. And I seen on the news, North Carolina citizens are sleeping in freaking teepees. They're sleeping in freaking tents.
They're sleeping in tents. There is a video out that I know the girl that put it out. it was a Friday and they closed down the kerosene station. There was a 2.5 hour wait each way to get into the station that would give kerosene. 3 people ended up freezing to death that night in their tents. Also, I know a person that reported on 2 convoys that were headed to North Carolina were turned around by state troopers and FEMA, saying that if they tried to continue on, they would be placed under arrest. The convoy of the semis was carrying nothing but generators so that people could have some kind of electricity, some kind of heat. Kerosene heat is not healthy to have in a tent with you. It's just not. And they were threatened with arrest and with seizure of all of the generators that were on the convoys that they did not turn around. I thought that we in Florida were forgotten after the hurricane. It is nothing compared to what has happened to these people in North Carolina and Tennessee.
I'm going to put up an article. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that one of the saddest stories that I heard was there was a woman, and it's exactly to the tenth of a mile, 14 miles from my house. It's in Irwin, Tennessee. It was a plastics company. They begged the plastics company to please let them go because Hurricane Helene was headed this way, expected to bring massive flooding like nothing that has ever been seen before in history. They refused the employees to leave. They finally allowed the employees to leave when the water was up to the door to the exit, and every member of that plastics family or plastics company perished. And the water was so rapid that they found bodies in the top of the trees.
Very sad. FEMA, right? Your thoughts? I'm gonna segue to Jesse. I think Trump wants to get rid of FEMA. 4 FEMA employees will be fired. I think they already got fired. $59 million to NYC to house and care for illegal aliens. 4 of them got fired. Jesse, your thoughts on FEMA? I think Trump's going to get rid of it. I haven't heard nothing good about it. Chrissy has told me. I mean, even with her situation in Florida and even DeSantis, FEMA is worthless. Your thoughts on FEMA, Jesse? Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. The way Trump wants to send it all to the states, and get rid of FEMA. And like you said, he fired that lady that took that money, that 59 million, and gave it to that New York hotel that was housing the illegal aliens, and fired 3 other people, top people in that area, from FEMA, from that area, and basically told them it's like, it's not going to happen anymore. It's like we catch you, we're going to prosecute you, we're going to terminate you, and maybe prosecute you and lock you up. But that's what a lot of the changes that are coming now. That's why you hear the Democrats crying, man, because they don't like what's happening. Trump's moving too fast for them.
Hey, Tito.
Hey, I'm going to have to get going and see you all later.
God bless, brother
Hit me
Jesse.
up when you get another one.
All right, later, Jesse. Hey, Tito.
Bye, Jesse.
Later, Christy.
Good night.
Okay, later,
brother. Yeah, we're going live tonight a little bit longer. Hey, Tito, L. Bishop says the border czar said he's going to refer AOC for potential persecution for impeding law enforcement from finding illegal aliens. What are your thoughts on that, bro? Go ahead. Or FEMA.
What? Sorry, repeat it one more time. So he's going to go after AOC for what?
AOC might get prosecuted, bro, by Tom Homan for messing up the illegal alien deportation, bro. Your thoughts on that?
I say go for it, man. I mean, if he has the law, in his side, which I'm sure, that's one of the things that I appreciate within this administration is that they know the law, right? So if the law's in your side and you go after her, sure, why not? I go for it. She's just an actor, an actress, and just wants to cry and all that. When she's the definition of the Democratic Party. It's all acting. That's all it is. She doesn't care about illegals or humanity.
Kamala should be right behind her or in front of her, because Kamala's job specifically was to take care of that border and make sure that things were handled, and she did not. And she should be right up there with them.
Yeah.
Hey, Tito.
I'll say this too. real quick, and I'll say this like on FEMA, like all these like FEMA, like they're supposed to do something good, right? They're supposed to take care of crisis and things like that. But the problem is that there's nobody watching what they're doing. There's no auditing going on, right? It just
Yep.
becomes a money laundering. There's like a lot of other things with it just that we're seeing now, right? With Doge, that a lot of the money is not going to places that are supposed to be going to, or being spent in things that should be being spent on. So that's the problem. I do agree with FEMA, the idea of it, right? Example, another one, like a lot of other groups, right? Well, like when BLM first started, it sounded good, but we seen what it done with it too, So you can go
Yep.
on and on and on with all these groups that it's just become a money laundering scheme. That's all it is.
Amen.
That's all. That's all it is, Tito. I'm just going to make this really, really quick. Whenever the hurricane hit us, it was Hurricane Ian. It hit us in 2022 as a Category 4 head on. When I tell you massive destruction, there was not a street light, a stop sign. There was nothing in our leveled grocery stores, gas stations, everything. Nobody in my household got even the 750 that was promised by FEMA. And then listen to this. So the deal with FEMA is if you have private insurance, your private insurance is supposed to pick up whatever damages you have. And then if it's in excess of what insurance will cover, FEMA's supposed to step in and help with that. So one of my coworkers lived in Fort Myers, which were 30 minutes from my house, which was the worst that was hit. When I tell you, she literally was left with four walls standing, didn't have a refrigerator, a dishwasher, nothing left her name. Her cars floated away. I mean, had nothing. She got from her insurance company enough to completely rebuild her home. And FEMA gave her, on top of that, her insurance gave her more than enough to rebuild the home, gave her all the personal things, all that. FEMA also wrote her a check for $160,000. And we did not even get anything for the food we lost, the 13 days in Florida in 100-degree weather, whenever we had to rent an Airbnb in Naples, which is, an hour away. It's corrupt. That's all I can say. And DeSantis
Just
is part of it.
and it's just wasteful spending. I mean, that's what I like about Trump. Tito, I talked about earlier in the live, bro. Like Trump is giving us updates. He's a businessman who we voted for. He's going line by line with this Doge situation with Elon. I didn't even know. Shout out Jesse Lopez, great insight, man. I love the live tonight, y'all. I'm sorry for keeping this up longer than I should have, but I ain't got to work tomorrow. I will respect everybody's time going forward. I'm sorry, y'all, but the point is, Jesse said, Tito, that Elon has an algorithm, bro. That him and his people, they're geniuses, started with 12, that they got 100, and that they're able to find out through this algorithm and the system they implemented the wasteful spending. And man, Trump was, they give updates, they're
Yeah.
transparent, and bro, it's a load of wasteful spending. Your thoughts on, Elon and Trump, what they're doing, bro? I mean, who would hate this, right? Besides the women of the View. Go ahead.
I think this is awesome. This is what world people around the world is what they're looking into. Like example, give you the president of El Salvador. He literally said like what the United States is doing right now is what he had to do to change El Salvador.
Hold on, he
I
said
mean, this
that.
is
He
what I'm
said
saying.
that,
This is a
Tito.
third world country,
He said that.
huh?
He said that.
Yeah,
Bro, I ain't gonna lie,
yeah,
Tito.
he did.
Tito, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I watched a documentary yesterday, me and my wife, about him in his prison and the way he runs El Salvador. Bro, that guy's a
Bro,
real leader, bro. I respect that guy. So he said that about Trump, bro. That's awesome. Go ahead, my bad.
he said he literally had to fire all the people that when he first came in to be able to change El Salvador to what it is now.
Wow.
You know, so and I mean, and we were talking about a president, a third world country, right? So I mean, what we're doing right now is it's sad that it had to take this long for
Right.
some it's just common sense, right? It's common sense. Think of it as the business. If you see your business not doing good, what are you gonna do? You're like, okay, you know what? I need to get rid of him, and him, right? Why is there so much overtime and nothing's getting done? Well, where's the money going? It's just common sense things, right? And then you see the hypocrisy with the Democratic Party that run. I'm like, when I get there, there's so much money being spent, so much tax people money being spent. But now that they're there, they're fighting the thing that ran on. Like, what? Make it make sense. It's crazy, man.
Well,
So props to Trump and Musk, and continue. And I look forward to more of the exposure that will come out in the next coming weeks or so. So yeah, I love it. I love it very much.
it is.
And
Go ahead.
this is something that I used to talk with whenever I would go live with David Winkler before we had our fallout and all of that, but talked about how the government needed a line by line audit. You get somebody like Elon Musk in that can set up algorithms. He is brilliant, can set up algorithms to say, okay, how much is the Pentagon spending on coffee? How much is the White House spending on coffee? How much is FEMA spending on coffee? And to do a line by line audit like they're doing is the smartest thing that anybody could do. The amount of wasteful spending that we are getting ready to see is going to be massive.
It's crazy.
Uh,
But
uh,
go ahead.
I'll say this real quick, Christy. Like, I do appreciate what Musk is doing with all of that, but believe it or not, like, I can't give him too much credit for that, just because it's the technology is out there. So I'll give Musk for sending rockets and all those things, those beautiful things he's doing. But just the basic things that he's doing right now with the technology we have, it's not that hard to do. The
Right.
problem is that people that the Democratic Party wasn't doing it. That's all it is.
Hey, you're
You
right.
know?
It's not that really. It's not that really. Crazy, right, or far fetched. It's just they don't freaking do it. What the hell?
They
Hey,
just
Well,
don't do
no,
it.
and
They
I
don't want to
agree.
do it. That's
I,
it. And we know
I,
why. I mean, you see them crying about it.
go ahead, Christy.
Tito, I agree with you because Nino asked, and I don't think you had even gotten in the live whenever he asked me what I think about Elon. Personally, I think he's a smart businessman. I do not agree with like his morals or his ethics and a whole bunch of that, but I think that Trump feels very confident in Elon,
Hell
and
yeah.
that's the reason we're
That's all we
seeing the
need.
algorithm.
Yeah.
That's the reason we're seeing the algorithms and everything that we are now, is because I think that Trump didn't trust anybody around him after what Pence did to him, after what all of these supposed, buddies of his did, and he thought were in his pocket. I think that, he's relying on Elon for a whole lot.
He and of course, Tito's right about the other president, firing everybody. Trump's like getting rid of all these I forgot what positions they are. He's cleaning house, y'all, because he don't want these traitors. Trump put this on True Social. FEMA spent tens of millions of dollars in Democrat areas disobeying orders, but left the people of North Carolina high and dry. It is now under review and investigation. The Biden-run FEMA has been a disaster. FEMA should be terminated. It has been slow and totally ineffective. Individual states should handle storms, exactly, etc., as they come. Big savings, far more efficient. So let's be honest. So why would Biden pardon all his family members? How do you
You
get?
already know the answer.
Well, I'm saying it's kind of a rhetorical question, but how do you pardon somebody that wasn't convicted of a crime? Because I think sooner or later we're going to see people that were in positions of power that got a paycheck for stuff that they didn't even do, and they just funneled millions and millions to the big guy. Go ahead, Tito,
I mean,
or go ahead, Christy.
okay. I was just
Go
gonna
ahead.
say
Go ahead.
that it just does not make any sense. Like, so if I would have been Ashley Biden or whoever, I'm so glad I was not by her diaries, by the way. But
Oh,
anyway, and I decided to pocket all this money and all of this stuff. It's like they knew they had free reign. And I do not think it should be legal at all for a president to be able to pardon anybody that has not been convicted of a crime. Period, point
true.
blank, the end. How you give a blank pardon
It's crazy.
is beyond me. I mean, that gives them freedom to do whatever they want, not pay taxes, do illegal trades, to do all of it. It doesn't make sense.
L. Bishop says because they are guilty. Simple. Go ahead, Tito.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we're hearing is that within states they can still go after them, after those individuals that were pardoned, right? So I do look forward to that. I do love that the law will ultimately be in we the people side, when we have actually judges that took an oath and actually stand by it. So we'll see what happens with that. But it's how can you say I didn't do it without anybody blaming you, right? So I mean, the guilt is right there. I mean, it's pretty obvious. And it's sad that people on that party continue to look the other way. and we continue to ask ourselves how can we change things? How can we change things? But until we don't have take accountability for the things our party or our own people are doing, nothing will change. If we continue
Absolutely.
point the finger at everybody else and not ourselves or our party or our people, whatever, nothing will change.
Hey Tito, speaking of I know you're in Cali, bro, but I was on a live or I saw somebody talk about it. Basically, Cali could have been red, bro, except for 3 or 4 cities that freaking messed it up. You think that's true?
Well, well, yeah, I do believe that. I do believe that a lot. Yes, there is San Francisco, there is LA, there's pretty blue, but I think a lot of people in the closet are being a Republican or being a conservative or a supporter of Trump or whatever. So, and some people say like, oh, I'm not a MAGA. I'm like, dude, it's not about. It's bigger than MAGA, man. It's just about just common sense. It's just about America first. It's about we the people first and let's just get back to taking care of our families or communities or kids. It's as simple as that. You might not like Trump, but just vote for the just simple, basic, common sense things. That
It
is all. And we are a state that doesn't need an ID to vote, right? So we saw a lot of the states that didn't that actually ID people to vote, and you saw how they turned out. So I do look forward into California. I do believe California will turn red. I do believe that. I believe next election will be a Republican governor.
wow.
I don't think it would be a Democrat.
Interesting take. I'll say this. Look at us. Do we ever sit here and say, "Oh, we're the Republican Party. We support the Republicans"? That we are more leaning towards that side. Trump is the Republican nominee, but I don't consider myself a Republican. I ain't gonna lie though, respect him. Brother Aram and Duke, they're part of the Republican Party down there in Waco, Texas. I got their back. That's my people. But I'm just saying, in hindsight or in the full view of things, it's not really a Republican situation with the MAGA. We're MAGA, America first. I mean, let's be honest. If it's a Democrat that puts the country first, I don't really care what side of the aisle he's on. But let's be honest. There's definitions and there's groupings for a reason. I don't want to align myself with Democrats because, for the most part, I think they're evil and demonic. Right? I like to know what kind of church I'm going into. I don't want to go into some church with some non-denomination. No offense to everybody. I'm a Baptist, so if I see a church that's a Baptist church, I'm more inclined to go to a Baptist church. That's just my how I look at things. So again, I'm not pushing to be a Republican, but those are my people. But like Tito said, it's not even Republican, Democrat. Well, really, they ain't Democrat, nothing. But it's not really us being with this party and pushing a political party like Republicans. We're just simple, hardworking Americans that love this country and put our country first, America first. Even if somebody on the other side is more inclined to think like us, we'll support it. But let's be honest. What does the Democrat Party stand for? Everything I don't stand for. I'm more inclined to lean with the Republicans, even though I'm not a Republican. I'm just a Christian conservative. Your thoughts on that, Christy? Go ahead.
Um,
Or are you busy? Go,
I'm,
Tito, you go ahead.
I'm,
Piggyback. She's actually doing something from right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
I lost
Yeah,
all
it's
that.
as simple as that. It's like that guy, like the Aztec warrior guy, the Aztec warrior that was on the live yesterday that kept
Oh, did you
talking
catch
and
that,
talking,
bro?
right? Talking about his history, his grandpa, and all that, but didn't realize that the treaty and things that was passed to actually help illegal immigrants were actually Republican under Reagan, right? But he continues to vote as a Democrat, right? And it's the hypocrisy is always there. It's like, dude, like again, until you take accountability and call out your party or your people, whatever that is, nothing will change, man. But it's just the hypocrisy is crazy, and I continue to see it over and over and over and over. For so long, the Democratic Party, Latinos being under the Democratic Party, like, yeah, I'm a Latino, I should be a Democrat, and tell me what they done for us besides like, vote for me. I'm gonna pass DACA. I'm gonna make things. I'm gonna do this and this and that. Dude, it's all BS, man. It's all BS, and it's just a typical politician making broken promises.
Totally agree. We're gonna wind it down here. I want to give a shout out to the super chats. Freedom with the 49.9 super chat, 9.99 super chat. Thank you, Freedom. Tito with the $20 super chat. Thank you, brother. God bless you. I'm gonna read Freedom's real quick. Sick of hearing these illegals saying they have a right to live in the USA illegally, get citizenship, and respect our country and the American flag, and don't burn it. No one from one country can legally move and live permanently in another country without citizenship. It's a no-brainer. Agree. Tito says America first. Thank you, Tito, with that. Final words. I'm gonna hand it to Tito and let Christy lead us out with the final words and maybe even a prayer. Go ahead, Tito. Final words. Go ahead, brother.
No, I just appreciate you guys talking truth. Just like I give you some pushback in the past, Nino. But at the end of the day, you stand on what you stand on, and I appreciate you being, true to how you feel and how you see things, and that's what we need, people to speak from the heart and, just say it how it is, what I'm saying? Be able to call out things and not be afraid of it. Step up to the fight, stop hiding in the closet, there's I say there's a lot of us, Latinos especially, that are not willing to speak up on things. And I believe because you are a Latino, you should have more of a reason to speak up because they
Amen.
use us as like, as puppets to be able to just not think outside the box and just get back in line, and we're not gonna do that anymore. We're not gonna fall back in line.
Nah.
We're gonna make our own opinion, and we're gonna say how we feel about things.
Hey, I salute
So
you, brother. You
yeah,
know what, Tito? You my homeboy, bro. I know we had a little, not even just a little spat or whatever, a disagreement on Instagram. Ain't no big deal. I got your back, homeboy, for real. I respect you and I salute you. Christy, give us your final thoughts and words and lead us out with the prayer, sis. Go ahead, Christy.
Hold on. I gotta see if I'm okay. I didn't know if I was muted or not. No, I just think that, and I said this yesterday whenever I knew that you were going to be going on the show with Mikey and Christine, their show Chicano too. I knew that there were going to be a lot of Mexican flag lovers in there and that there were going to be Americans in there. What I love is I love for iron to sharpen iron. I love civil conversations where the name calling and all of that, we can be passionate, we can say what we want and walk away with that maybe we learned something from it. But no, I just appreciate everything you do, Nino. And you're one hell of a guy. Tito is my brother.
Yup.
Like, I absolutely just adore him, and everybody that was on there, Aram. He has people that come in our lives looking for him. They hate him so much because he keeps it so real. Jesse and his service for our country tonight.
Amazing.
I love,
Duke.
yeah,
Man,
yeah,
I was really
Duke. I
blessed.
like him.
I was blessed with
Yeah,
those
Duke.
guys. And even everybody in the
Yeah.
chat, even our people in here, Vanessa, Beanie, shout out to my moderators, Olivia, everybody in here, Thelma. I mean, there's a lot of people who've been rocking with us for a long time. We appreciate y'all. Sorry, Christy, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, even Duke, yeah, this was my first time of ever really getting to meet him and all of that, but loved everything he had to say. And I think that this is how change happens, and that we'll get to the point that we'll get more organized with these town hall panel meeting things, and be able to bring people from that believe opposite of us and hear what they have to say. And I think that's the only way you can make change is by speaking truths. And just really appreciate everything that everybody did tonight.
Amen. Go ahead. Lead us out with prayer, Christy. Let's go.
Dear Lord, thank you for all of our blessings. Thank you for putting a hedge of protection around all of us, our family. Thank you for giving us words and wisdom
Amen.
to use our words tonight to speak our truth. We thank you for all that you are, all that you will ever be. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, with that, y'all, Tito, thanks for coming on. We're going to be doing more panels, and I'm going to be getting us... Amen, Tito. I'm gonna be getting us on more, more frequently, more on a better schedule, and I respect everybody's time. Sorry, y'all, and thanks for coming on last minute, Tito. Christy, thanks for modding. Beanie, all my moderators. God bless everybody in the chat. Christ is Lord. It's Trump 2025, and you ain't gotta like it. Let's go.
Let's go.